After time passed to the following day. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, good morning, Yukimura. Did you sleep well last night?
Oh, yes.
You don't have to lie for our sake. We can tell how well you slept by looking at your face.
Well, why did you ask, then? Bleh. How's Shimada doing?
The hit knocked him out, but aside from some bruises, he seems to be fine. He'll be back on duty soon.
Really? Oh, what a relief.
Shimada wanted to apologize to you for not doing a better job.
Well, at least he went with me when I insisted on leaving my room. What? I'm the one who should be apologizing to him.
Oh, morning, Isami. Uh-oh. What's happened? You don't look to be in a good mood. You've got a scary enough face to begin with, Kondo. Look, you're even scaring her.
No, I'm not scared.
No need to hide it. You can admit that you're scared if you're scared.
But I wasn't saying...
Sorry about that. I meant no ill will. Forgive me.
He gave me a tight grin, but then looked down, his face grim. What happened? I wondered what was the matter. He's acting different. Please, don't apologize. Please, just tell us what happened.
Well, you'll find out soon enough, I suppose.
He wasn't just talking to me anymore. The rest moved closer to hear what he had to say.
Nishi Hongwanji doesn't want the Shinsengumi here anymore.
They're telling us to leave, you mean?
Well, after the attack.
Well, they didn't say that in so many words, but yes. I had a feeling this day would come eventually, but now that it's here, what should we do?
The monks at the Nishi Hongwanji temple were imperialists and allies of the Choshu. They'd never been fond of the Shinsengumi, but we decided to force our way into their temple anyway. It was no surprise they wanted us out, but I'd finally begun to feel like the temple was my home. I was sure I wasn't the only one who felt that way.
Still, this is awfully sudden. Do you think last night's incident triggered this?
I don't have to think. I know. They don't want fighting on the temple grounds. I'm sure someone else has a hand in this too. Choshu, maybe, or Satsuma.
The ruckus last night was all because Kazuma and his men wanted to abduct me. I'm sorry. This is all my fault.
Not true. We came to this temple and forced them to yield to our admittedly unreasonable demands.
But what are we going to do? If we have to move, then we need to start looking for a new location.
Actually, we don't. We'll be provided with a new site, courtesy of the Nishi Hongwanji Temple.
What?
That's awfully generous. They must really want us gone. Yes, on both counts, which is why I decided to accept their offer. Things are going to get busy around here soon.
And now we're moving again. A plot of land was purchased and a new compound was built, all paid for by the Nishi Hongwanji Temple. It became the third headquarters of the Shinsengumi, the Fudodo village location. The third Shinsengumi compound was located in the village of Fudodo. Fudodo? Fudodo. I need to look up Fudodo. Let's see, that should be 3? No. There we go. A town in southern Kyoto located south of the Kaduya Bridge. In the new location, there was a big bath where a dozen or so warriors could bathe together, and even new dojos. The new warriors were clearly excited about it. By the time summer came, the Shinsengumi had left Nishi Hongwanji, where they'd spent more than 2 years. Is that all we've been here for? I feel like we've been here longer than that. On the move again. I can't believe we're on the move again. I thought Kondo had found out about Okita finally. Man, Okita's like really good at keeping everyone's suspicions off. Unless everyone already knows and they're just pretending for his sake. New place! Who dis? October 1867. Autumn began to turn to winter, and nothing changed. The Shinsengumi was running out of captains. As soon as dinner ended, Harada and the others who remained left the dining hall. The few men left were working hard to take up the slack. So when Sanan arrived... Ooh. The only people still in the hall were myself and Hijikata.
Okita is still his pleasant self, but his condition appears to be worsening.
I froze. This didn't seem like the sort of thing I was supposed to hear. But before I could leave, Hijikata replied. What the hell? Not supposed to see you here anyway, but... What are you bringing up Souji for? Something bothering you?
In a manner of speaking. After all, the water of life only works while one is still alive.
Sanan. I could hear a growl of irritation in Hijikata's voice. That Sanan was the commander of the Fury Corps did not seem to frighten him in the least. As he smiled, Sanan's eyes became gleaming slits.
Surely I don't need to spell it out for you, Hijikata.
Souji's not your problem. Keep your nose out of this. Clear? He isn't going to need the water of life. I'll make sure of that.
I doubt he would like for things to continue as they are.
The tension was so thick I swore I could see the air between them shudder. For several long minutes the silence dragged on until I thought I couldn't possibly stand it any longer.
I was only worried about his condition.
His tone managed to be somewhat conciliatory without admitting defeat.
Earlier, I attempted to pay him a visit, but was rebuffed.
Yukimura, can you go check up on him?
Of course.
I leapt up, happy for any excuse to leave the room. Did Sanan want to turn Okita into a fury? I've been thinking about that. I don't know if Souji would want that. A shiver ran down my back. The idea horrified me. Sanan's intentions worried me. For the moment, however, I was more concerned with why Okita was keeping to himself. I made my way out of the hall and walked toward Okita's room as fast as I could without breaking into a run. Oh boy, gotta go check on my boy. No, like, can I come in? This is... Sorry, I'm coming in. I paused for half a second before sliding the door open and stepping inside. Okita? He had pulled the bed covers up over his head. Aww. My boy. If he was sleeping, perhaps it would be best for me to leave him alone. I was about to leave when I spotted the untouched tray of food and reconsidered. Okita? You haven't eaten your dinner? I don't wanna. I talked to Yamazaki yesterday. I let out a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding when he spoke. He said you barely eat at all these days. Oh! Wow, I never seen you in your pajamas? Maybe? I just don't want to. Is that really a problem? He crawled out from under the blankets and gave me a cold glare. So you're telling me I should force myself to eat, even if my body doesn't want to? Or are you suggesting that a little food is all I need to get better? No, My heart felt tight in my chest. Can't you just eat a little? If you don't, you'll just die of hunger. What's with that look, Chizuru? What I do shouldn't be any of your business. Why are you so freaked out? You are a doctor's daughter. Maybe you just can't leave a sick guy alone. No, that's not it. If I was an actual doctor, I might feel that way. But I wasn't just worried for him out of a sense of duty. I love you, Baka. I don't need your pity, Chizuru. He didn't seem angry, just irritated. That alone made me concerned. The Okita I was used to should have been much more frightening and aggressive. Just how ill was he? Please, eat your food. Even just a few bites. Damn, you're persistent. But no, I don't want to and I'm not going to. Then... there was only one thing to do. I'm not gonna tell Hijikata. He's so fed up with Hijikata mothering him all the time. I will cook you a meal, because hopefully I know how to do that. I actually do know. She has cooked a few times, so I'll make something you do want to eat. Then I'll make you something you'll like. The words surprised me the moment they left my mouth. Apparently I was more worried about him than I'd realized. Here I am offering to cook food. Go on, ask for anything. I'll go make it. I wanted him to eat something. Anything, even if it was just a bite or two. I really don't get you, Chizuru. What? Oh! We got our first blush, everybody! Wow. He looked away and I saw him blush. Oh, he's into me cooking for him, alright. Porridge. I'd like porridge. The kind with grated radish in it. No green onions, though, okay? Flavor it however you want, but I don't really like bitter stuff. Oh, okay. Don't make too much. I can't eat a lot right now. And I'm only going to eat it if it's delicious. So bring your A game. I'll do my best. Mostly, though, I was just happy that he was willing to eat something. I nodded vigorously. I'll bring you your medicine after dinner. His face twisted with an emotion I couldn't place. Dr. Matsumoto's medicine is bitter. I don't like it. I know how you feel, but you really need to take it. But the bitterness means it's good for you. Yeah. Sorry, Chizuru. I know. When he looked into my eyes, his face was sad. I usually drink it, you know. I don't know what you think I'm doing, but I'm working as hard as I can to fight this thing. Okita. He hadn't been allowed to fight alongside the rest of the Shinsengumi after his illness took a turn for the worse, and that had been some time ago. Sleeping all day had likely helped his body, but it was clearly having a negative effect on his emotional state. I know I've been kind of difficult the last few days, but that was just because I got kind of tired. Don't think I've given up or something. Okay. I didn't know what else to say. I'm going to go make your porridge. I'll be back in a little bit. Okay. Make sure it's great, alright? Of course. Don't you dare take another turn for the worse while I'm out there making porridge. I do not want to come back to you, like, convulsing. His words of encouragement followed me out of the room. I headed for the kitchen and set to work making his porridge. Before long, I was on my way back, porridge in hand. I'm very nervous because there's no sound. Okay, of course, once I gave it to him, he complained that he didn't want it, but with a little more coaxing, he began to eat. Oh, you big baby. Ah. How is it? I don't know. Maybe my tongue's losing it. I think it tastes good, though. And it makes me feel good. His face was still slack and gray, but he swallowed every spoonful of porridge I offered. Good. To see him finally eat was a tremendous relief. He needed food, warmth, and sleep. At least that would have been enough if he was suffering from a simple cold. But watching him eat, I felt my stomach twist with hate for the disease that was consuming him. No. Eventually, he finished the entire bowl. Hooray, we spoon-fed an entire bowl to him. Alright, now you need to get some sleep. Wait, Chizuru. If I go to sleep right after I eat, it'll give me a stomachache. Could you keep me company for a while? I mean, you're already here anyway. Sure. I was happy to stay, but what would I talk about? He spoke first. Look, about what happened tonight. Don't tell Kondo, okay? Or Hijikata, for that matter. I don't want them worrying about me over something stupid. We both knew it wasn't stupid, but I understood why he didn't want anyone to know. He wasn't afraid to die, so what was he afraid of? Okay, I promise. Good. My response appeared to set him at ease. He settled back and let out a low sigh of relief. I suspected several of the warriors had figured out for themselves that he had tuberculosis, all due to his frequent hiding. Yeah. I haven't been in a fight in forever. All I do these days is sleep, huh? I'm not any good to the Shinsengumi if I can't even lift a sword, so how long are they gonna let this slide? Forever! It came out louder than I'd intended. You can stay here as long as you want. They'd never kick you out. Hijikata knew about Okita's tuberculosis, but hadn't told him to leave. That seemed like proof enough to me that he could stay as long as he wanted. But I'm just dead weight right now, aren't I? I can't do anything. I want to help, I want to take my sword and go fight, but I'm getting weaker every day. Okita, if I'm not going to be able to help, maybe I should just leave, before they kick me out. His voice had dropped to a mumble as he looked away from me. Whatever he was staring at, it was something very far away. But I don't have anywhere else to go. What am I supposed to do? When I was silent, he climbed back into his bed and pulled the covers up over his ears. There was nothing I could think of to say, so I quietly stood and left the room. Oh, Okita. Is this my new room? No one wants him to leave. I knew there had to be a reason for him to stay. I just couldn't put my finger on it. But even so, as far as I could tell, the person the most frustrated with his lack of contribution was Okita himself. I knew that no matter what I said to him, it wouldn't take his pain away. Oh, Okita. There was no medicine that provided a sure cure for tuberculosis. On the other hand, I couldn't see someone like Okita succumbing to a mere disease. It was difficult to stay optimistic, but I had to have faith. He'll be fine, right? I wanted to believe it because I didn't want him to leave. If only there was something more I could do. If I could figure out that I am the cure to the cure, so we could cure him. One day. Oh, I just want to save my boy. Aw. Well, at least I gave him some food. He better not just, like, disappear one day. I'd be so mad at him. November 1867. A gust of wind stripped some of the last stubborn leaves from the trees and sent them skittering across the Kyoto street. It was cold and a bit into me through my clothes. I shivered. It's almost winter, isn't it?
Yeah, the wind's gotten pretty cold lately. Still, we don't have it too bad during the day. I can't imagine how cold it gets for the night, guys.
He laughed as his breath turned like smoke. My fingertips were icy cold and I blew my breath on them.
Are your hands cold? Would you like me to hold them?
No, I'm not that cold. I'll be fine. Wow, Harada making a move. Oh? I noticed someone walking towards us. Oh, hey.
Hey guys, ain't today great? He is the only one not affected by the cold. What? You're one to talk, man. Look at what you're wearing.
I was gonna comment that both of you guys are bearing your chests. Their bickering might have looked odd to a passerby, but I knew it was the sign of deep friendship that it was.
What's up? Why are you grinning like that? Probably thinks your face is funny, Shinpachi. You really ought to do something about that thing.
No, it's just, I was just remembering when we met up like this before. Like the time we met Kaoru. I was with Okita and Heisuke then, though. Yeah, I was just thinking about Saito and Heisuke. More than 6 months had passed since Saito and Heisuke left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. Harada and Shinpachi's faces turned grim as I trailed off. I shook my head, hoping vainly to cast off unpleasant thoughts. I just mean there's been so much going on lately. It makes me nostalgic.
The Shinsengumi has changed. Hell, so has the rest of the world.
Yes.
But man, who would have thought there would come a day where we'd be promoted to a Jiki-san?
It was right around the time when we moved our headquarters to Fudodo Village, right? I remember there were a handful of people who said they were going to leave, and it was a big debacle. There is a distinction, though, between those who were able to leave the Shinsengumi, and then those who were forced to enter the Fury Corps. Kondo seemed to be thrilled about becoming promoted to a Jiki-san, but how do you guys feel about this?
I'm not really a fan. Yeah, I didn't do all this work just so I could be a retainer for the Shogun.
Kondo's promotion had changed the Shinsengumi's relationship with the daimyo. A powerful samurai who rules a fiefdom and commands vassals on his own, these lords directly served the shogun. Where before we'd only been philosophically aligned with the shogun, now we answered directly to him. For some people, that was a serious problem. Rumors floated around as we began to move to our new headquarters. So what's this going to change for us going forward? I heard that a few months ago that the Imperial Prince had become the new Emperor. The Emperor's child? It points to the male. Indeed it does. I think there was a restoration of Imperial rule last month, right? The political event in which the Shogun, Yoshinobu Tokugawa, returned all sovereign powers to the Meiji Emperor. Supposedly, the Tokugawa shogunate returned power from the government to the Emperor, right?
Yeah, supposedly it was Ryoma Sakamoto's idea.
Oh! I think that's the last guy that I haven't met yet. A Ronin from Tosa who negotiated the alliance between Satsuma and Choshu for the purpose of overthrowing the Tokugawa shogunate. He played a crucial part in restoring imperial rule. Interesting.
I heard that because of that, the Satsuma and Choshu are really pissed at him, because they were going to use this opportunity to fight for power. Well, he already had a target on his back from the shogunate supporters, so now he's basically hated by every Ronin in Japan. But then, now there is no just cause for the Satsuma and Choshu to start a war. So for now, I guess they're gonna just keep things like what they are for now. That's right. The shogunate is going to remain as it is, and the Tokugawa will still be the largest daimyo clan in Japan. Still, there's the chance of the Satsuma having something up their sleeves, but we have no way of knowing. Well, as long as the shogunate doesn't call their bluff, nothing's gonna happen.
I see. As I looked around the city, it seemed like he had a point. Nothing much seemed to have changed. Inns were still bustling with travelers. Tea shops were still smelling delicious. You could still smell the burning incense from the temples scattered throughout the town. Life continued just as it always had, regardless of what the shogun was or wasn't doing. The city might look the same as it always had, but time flowed on regardless, and a great wave was coming that would carry all of us away. I looked up at Nagakura, and something occurred to me that I hadn't thought of before. Before I realized what I was doing, I'd opened my mouth. Trouble. Oh no. I didn't realize you were so smart, Nagakura. You know a lot about politics.
didn't realize. Wait, just what did you think of me?
Let's continue our rounds. It's winter, which means it'll get darker faster.
You're trying to dodge the question.
No, me? Nah. There was a man named Ryoma Sakamoto. He was a Ronin from the Tosa domain and had allied himself with the Satsuma and Choshu domains as well. For a time, the Kyoto Judiciary Commissioner, Mimawaragumi, and even the Shinsengumi were desperate to find him. A civilian police force similar to the Shinsengumi that was instead composed of the sons of shogunate vassals. They were charged with guarding the Nijo Castle area in Kyoto. After his orchestration of the restoration of imperial rule, however, orders were passed down to leave him alone. I only had a general idea of who he was and what he'd done, but even I had figured out that he was an important person, so when I heard Inoue mention him, I listened.
Ryoma Sakamoto has been assassinated.
What? Can you stop, killing people that I'm supposed to date at some point? The heck?
You serious again? Do they know who did it? Sakamoto had a lot of enemies. Could have been imperialists or loyalists. Hell, it could have just been personal, in which case my money's on Miura of Kishu.
It was one of the 3 main branches of the Tokugawa clan. It was also known as the Ki domain or the Wakayama domain. Ha. You think maybe they're looking at us for it? Damn. If the bastard was going to get killed anyway, I should have done him in. I'm glad you're looking a little better.
That's, not very funny coming from you. In fact, weren't we specifically told to leave him alone?
I'd never met Sakamoto. In fact, I barely knew who he was. I just had his picture on my thing. But I felt somehow that his death would shake the country to its core. Is he really dead?
As you all know, there was a decision made far above us, and Kondo was ordered to leave Ryoma Sakamoto alone. Unfortunately, the rest of the country is unlikely to see it that way. A scabbard belonging to a member of the Shinsengumi was found at the scene of his death. There has been a request for an official inquiry.
A scabbard? Is that really enough evidence?
If it isn't, I'm sure they'll just fabricate more. It's obviously a ruse. Who are they saying it belonged to, anyway? Actually, they say it was yours, Harada.
What? Ow. Really, Sano? Damn, wish you'd brought me with you.
Knock it off, Okita. Besides, my scabbard's right here. Man, this is idiotic. If you're going to make shit up, do it better. I don't suspect you, and neither does anyone else here. Unfortunately, I doubt the rest of the nation will extend you the same courtesy. I imagine they're having trouble determining the real culprit. There was talk that Kiyotaro Miura from Kishu asked the Shinsengumi to kill Ryoma.
A loyalist from the Kishu domain. He is not on good terms with Ryoma Sakamoto. Or was. Miura. That was the man Agakura had mentioned. He had some sort of personal quarrel with Sakamoto which made him a suspect.
I'm sure there's plenty of people who'd love to pin this one on the Shinsengumi. But unless someone did it and lied about it, there's no way it was us.
Unless Sanan decided to go do a little work off the books. The room fell silent.
How is Sanan these days? Our reputation is grisly enough, but even I think his night rounds are bad these days.
It was true Sanan was acting stranger and stranger. Although I didn't want to believe it, I had to admit it wasn't that difficult to imagine him doing something like that. When I passed him on occasion in the hallways, his eyes were dry and thirsty, as if he was always hungry for blood.
We'll have to be careful then. We can't let people learn about the Furies. About that. Oh, hey, Kondo. Hijikata. Whoa.
Saito!
Saito? What the hell are you doing here?
I thought I was dreaming for a second, but there was no doubt. The man who'd followed Kondo and Hijikata into the room was the man who'd left to join the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb. The man, the legend, Saito himself.
Oh, hello, Saito. It's been a while. What happened to the guard?
What are you talking about, Inoue? There's no way Hijikata would allow anyone from the guard here. We're prohibited from even talking to them. I was wondering from the beginning if Saito was not a plant, like a spy for the Shinsengumi.
Ugh, just shut up, alright? Starting today, Saito's back in the Shinsengumi.
He left the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb to rejoin the Shinsengumi. He was operating as a spy under Hijikata's orders because this boy is loyal to the core, and I knew that he wasn't just gonna arbitrarily leave for no good reason. I love that boy. What?
What? Hold on a second there, Hijikata. We're glad he's back, don't get me wrong, but what happened with the guard? And Ito? You're mistaken, but understandably. I was never one of Ito's supporters. In fact, Saito joined Ito and his men as a spy, under Toshi's direct orders.
And with that, everything suddenly made sense. They say that to fool your enemy, you must first fool your allies, and Saito had been doing just that. What? Come on, Saito. It's not fair for you to go off and have fun without letting me in on it.
Man, you just about scared the pants off me. Not cool, Kondo. This was all top secret. I'm sorry I had to keep it from all of you.
It was a surprise, to be sure, for some people. But I was glad we'd have Saito back with us again. I've missed that bean. I gave him a tentative smile, but he only sighed and shook his head.
Oh. It's too early to feel relieved. The last 6 months in the guard have made it clear. Ito and his followers are going to take action against the Shinsengumi. What sort of action? Ito is going to expose the Fury Corps to discredit the shogunate. There's even talk that he's working with Satsuma to that end.
If the existence and creation of the monstrous Furies were to be made public, was to become public knowledge, the shogunate's reputation would be irreparably damaged, and the Shinsengumi would undoubtedly suffer as well. Even I could predict that.
There's more. Ito plans to assassinate the chief of the Shinsengumi.
Why? Why Kondo? You mean Kondo? Kondo's face was tense, but he kept silent. He glanced over at Hijikata.
The guard is moving to destroy the Shinsengumi. You've already heard about Sakamoto, right? Yeah, some crap about me being the killer. Right. Well, you have the Guardians of the Imperial Tomb to thank. They've been spreading the rumor that Kyotaro Miura of Kishu hired the Shinsengumi, and that Harada put the sword in him. Miura insisted that he didn't do it, but there may be dumbasses who believe that rumor and may attack us. So, Saito's going to be guarding Miura for now. If it looks like he just left and then came back, it won't be too hard for Ito to put 2 and 2 together. I understand. Until this matter is settled, it is better that I'm not seen here.
Here, Hijikata paused for a moment. The room was utterly silent. Every one of us could sense that what came next would be very, very important.
Kashitaro Ito. It's not enough for you to expose the Fury Corps. You have to try and kill Kondo too, huh?
He spoke quietly, almost to himself, as if sharing a final moment with a former comrade. Then he looked up, and when he spoke, his voice was like cold steel. The voice of the demon. It's too bad it has to be this way, but we don't have a choice. Ito dies.
I suppose you're right. It can't be helped.
Kondo nodded, and that was that. The Shinsengumi would kill Kashitaro Ito. First, we'll invite Ito to Kondo's second home. I'll be there too. Once he's dead, we can use Ito's corpse to lure out the rest of the guard and kill them. Nagakura, Harada, I'm assigning you and your divisions to this. Take care of it. Hey, Hijikata, who do you want me to kill? No one. You're staying here, in bed. You've still got that cough, don't you? You're sick. Sayato will be here for a few days, so you'll have someone to play with. Ow! Poor Souji. So you're telling me that you won't let me participate in the assassination of the person who is trying to kill Kondo. You're a real bastard, Hijikata. It all seemed very calculated for murder. I hadn't realized I'd been sitting still in shock until I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. Oh, hi. Saito?
This will be the end of the Guardians at the Imperial Tomb. If we are going to return Heisuke to the fold, it must be now or never.
He was right. If they meant to kill the guard, that included Heisuke. I couldn't keep sitting still, so I ran over to Hijikata. Hijikata?
What?
What are you going to do with Heisuke? He's part of the guard now.
Isn't that obvious? We'll save him, of course.
Nagakura said it as if it was obvious, but got cut off.
No. He fights us, he dies.
What? My mind went blank. I couldn't contain my heart from how fast it beat. No, you can't mean that. My voice started to shake. You're lying, right? I mean, you've known Heisuke for a long time. He's your friend. Hijikata stood up as if he wanted to push me away, and he left the common room. You're actually going to order them to kill Heisuke? So, just because he left the Shinsengumi, are you saying you no longer care if he dies or not?
Of course we care.
Ugh!
I know that. Deep down, Toshi wants to save him too. There's no way he could live with giving the command to kill a comrade who was a part of our family for years.
Kondo appeared to be gripping his fist so tightly that it almost looked like he was bleeding. That alone said it all. I realized in that moment how much Kondo was suffering, how much each one of them was suffering, even Hijikata. I'm sorry for saying that.
No need to apologize. It's expected. It makes me happy, quite honestly. I'm glad people care for Heisuke.
Kondo let out a slow breath and looked up at me and smiled. He turned to Nagakura and Harada and spoke in a low voice.
I'm asking you this not as your chief, but as Isumi Kondo. Let Heisuke live, and, if you can, try and convince him to come back. Got it. His life is in our hands, huh? That is a lot of responsibility.
What I should do? What could I do?
I trust everything's clear. If you have questions, now is the time.
Wait. Kondo turned around and looked very surprised. I haven't been given any orders. I would like to help.
This is a dirty job. This is nothing like the Ikeda Inn or Hamaguri rebellion. You really shouldn't be involved.
It was true. This wasn't a patrol or even a guarding mission. This was the assassination of a former comrade and an attack on men who'd split from the Shinsengumi. I mean, Okita's home-ridden, whatever. Bedridden, homebound. I think I should stay. I understand. I will stay behind. That's right. There's a chance that we may have to fight Heisuke. Would I be of any use if and when that were to happen? The more I thought about it, the more I couldn't bear to be a burden to anyone.
I see. Understood.